Hello, citizens of the Nigelverse. It is Nigel here once again, and this is going to be another movie review. So, today we continue our look at the X Men movies with X2, X Men United. Um, for starters, as always, I'm not professional movie reviewer or analyst, just a man who enjoys a good time. And for the most part, I think I had a pretty decent time with this movie. Like I said, continuing our reviews of the X Men movies, so we see how things progress. A couple of the questions I had before got answered. Some things I noted that not only would be in the movie, in this movie, but would probably be throughout the rest of the series. Some stuff I noted. So without further ado, let's get right into it. For those of you who have seen these reviews before, you kind of already know how this works, but for those of you who haven't, I'm going to be pretty much talking about what I liked and what I disliked about the movie. Starting with what I liked. A lot of the stuff that they did well in the first movie, they did again here. Here pretty much all the characters return, such as, of course, Wolverine, Cyclops, Jean Grey, Storm characters like that. And they introduce some new heroes, such as Colossus and Nightcrawler. Just to name a couple. And we see the continued battle of ideals between both Professor Xavier and the X-Men versus Magneto and the Brotherhood of Mutants. And pretty much the whole superior to humans versus coinciding with humans. We see that continue here. We see the introduction of William Stryker, who wants to eradicate the mutants and wants to use Professor Xavier to do so. And we also see how Magneto ties into that, where the X-Men have to work with him, but then he almost kind of turns on them and tries to get Professor Xavier to eradicate the humans, which they do it through mind control, as William uses his son Jason and his mutant abilities to try to manipulate Professor Xavier into doing so, which Xavier nearly does. And as the Hoover Dam is about to flood, Jean Grey sacrificed herself and will be coming back as the Phoenix in X-Men: The Last Stand. And so, kind of setting up, kind of continuing some of the stuff that the first movie set up, and then using that to transition into what will be in X-Men: The Last Stand. So pretty nice progression of things, all things considered. And we see how things are progressing from here. Some of the characters are explored a bit more, such as like Bobby / Iceman getting more of a time to shine here. Some of the characters do take a bit of a backseat, which we'll kind of get to. But we see Wolverine starting to reconnect the pieces of his memory as he finds out he was experimented on at Alkali Lake. And there, of course, he fights Lady Deathstrike, kills her and everything with kind of the stuff that was used to on the adamantium to his skin, and kind of pumps her full adamantium. So nice progression of things. And some of the effects have gotten better, or some of them not as much, but not as much of that 2000s cheese as in like the first one. A little bit less of that, and some actually kind of cool moments, such as Magneto breaking out of the plastic prison, and Mystique taking the place of the guard. All kinds of good stuff going throughout. So we see how things progress, and we see the narrative being continued from the first movie and everything the first movie established. In terms of what I didn't really like about the movie, one thing I noted is that some characters, like I said, got more of a focus, but some characters got less of a focus. I feel like Rogue got less of a focus this time around. She still got some, but not as much. Same with Cyclops. And they, of course, have the dynamic of the love triangle between Wolverine, Jean, and Cyclops. but they didn't really incorporate the other one of the whole Wolverine and Cyclops battle for leadership, where Cyclops is the appointed leader of the X-Men. Wolverine's not having it, doesn't really respect his authority that much. Not really explored in this one, which is a bit disappointing. It sometimes kind of feels like Cyclops is just there, or being like the boyfriend to Jean. Which of course, in the comics there are a couple, but I wish they explored kind of some of the animosity between Wolverine and Cyclops a bit more. And the other thing I didn't really like is some of the effects do look kind of weird. Nightcrawler's design, which I do get, of course, but it does look a little bit weird. But also, we gotta address Colossus. Second movie in a row where someone doesn't look like they should. Colossus is way too skinny. I'm sorry. He turns metal and everything in a pretty cool scene as Stryker and his forces invade the X Mansion looking for Cerebro, which of course they find and everything. But Colossus way too skinny, way too short. They kind of tried to give him some height, a decent amount of height, but way too skinny, way too short. He should be taller and bulkier, because that's Colossus in the comics. He's big. He's big and hefty. How is this Colossus gonna fight the Juggernaut? Which spoiler alert, he considering what the Juggernaut looks like in Last Stand, it probably won't be too hard. But yeah, I didn't really like the designs of like Nightcrawler or Colossus that much. Otherwise, pretty much everything remained the same, just kind of a continuation of the first movie, kind of picking up where the first movie left off, which I think is not nice and especially necessary in like a narrative, movie series like the Hiss, if that makes any sense, where one thing progresses on the next. We've seen this with the MCU, with the Star Wars Skywalker saga, both of which I did retrospectives for, and I even reviewed the Star Wars movies. So if you haven't already, go check all of those out. But we see things progress, and we see things taken further. We see the introduction of the Phoenix, which, like I said, will play an integral part in The Last Stand. So we're gonna see how things play out in The Last Stand. Now, The Last Stand is gonna be kind of interesting because I feel like The Last Stand is kind of a polarizing movie among people. I feel like when it comes to The Last Stand, X-Men The Last Stand, people either really like it or really don't like it. So, obviously, when I get to reviewing the movie, I will come to my own conclusion. But hopefully Cyclops gets some more time to shine there. And the thing is, and Storm, I wish got a little bit more as well. She still got some. I think she got like the same amount as the first movie, but I think the major thing I'm noticing is that a lot of it revolves around not just Professor Xavier, but Wolverine as well, which does make sense. Of course, it's not only Hugh Jackman, but also Wolverine, probably the most recognizable X-Men. Like, even if people don't really read like X-Men comics or anything, they at least still know who Wolverine is, and having him as like your centerpiece character, I think is a smart move. But I feel like it comes partially to the detriment of everything else, because a lot of it tends to revolve around him. But we'll see how things play out in X-Men: The Last Stand when I review it. Not sure when, and it'll probably be in the next few weeks or so. But nevertheless, that's going to do it for this review. Like I said, not a bad movie. In terms of which one I enjoyed more, the first one or X2, I think it might be down the middle for me for now. I'll ponder it some more. I'll think about it some more. But for now, it might be a bit down the middle. Well, X2 is longer than the first one. The first one was about an hour 45, I believe, and then this one was like 2 hours and 15 minutes. And then Last Stand goes back to an hour 45, so that's interesting. And thankfully, this one was on Disney Plus, unlike the first X-Men movie. This one actually was on Disney Plus. It's weird that some of the X-Men movies are on Disney Plus, but not all of them. Like this one's on Disney Plus. Last Stand is on Disney Plus. I believe First Class is on Disney Plus. And I think Apocalypse and Dark Phoenix are on Disney Plus. Same with New Mutants, but like X Men, X Men Origins, the Wolverine are all aren't on Disney Plus, which is really weird. Maybe it's licensing issues, but nevertheless, that's going to do it for this review. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please do me a favor. Like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends, turn on post notifications so you know every time I upload a video so you can see as soon as it drops. Let me know in the comments below, do you agree or disagree with my sentiments of the movie? Did you dislike the movie? Did you dislike my review of the movie? And, yeah, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys later. Peace.